This is Mona Lisa Baseball.
College World Series on the ESPN channel. I watched it this year for the first time in a really long time. And I wanted to tell you that I wasn't invested in any reason other than I just wanted to watch baseball. And there was no strike zone plastered on the TV during the College World Series.
Okay. Okay.
So if you're interested in that, that might be something to keep in mind now that I've said it.
Thank you.
Maybe they'll put it on for next year. But at least this year, it was kind of fun for me to watch.
Get it back.
Yeah, I just kind of watched it for what
just
it was.
Watching a baseball game.
Rather than comparative to a strike zone.
Bringing the word should into baseball.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I enjoyed that. Next one is I would like it if people would get on board with stop saying two-way player.
This is great.
Saying someone is a two-way player is saying that they're a baseball player. So,
well, I'm a PO.
If anything, we could just call people specialized and then baseball players, but two-way players fucking bullshit.
Is one way just the expected norm? Like, oh, he can hit bombs.
Yeah, but this guy can play all the positions, and it's like, oh, good, so he plays baseball then.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, he can catch the ball too. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And my final thought was the NBA is going to put in an in-season tourney for next year.
What?
And what I don't know what that means. A2, I always rely on you to come in clutch with this, but I'm curious. One of the big reasons
they're going to do a mid-season cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Mid-season tournament?
This has become theater.
My fear of baseball becoming
lordy,
not as accessible and also kind of just a mockery of itself is that they're going to try to create as many ninth inning, 2-out opportunities as they can, and that will be ice cream for breakfast, right? So
definitely.
If we're trying to emulate the other big sports and this works, how long until baseball has an in-season tournament, and what does that look like? And so I saw the headline and I was like, wow, I can't take this right now.
We already know they're going to fuck with 162. We did a whole episode about that.
Yeah. And that part is really disheartening. Still, it hurts me.
Okay. Let me hurt you better.
Sweet.
Listen to this.
Hurt his ass.
The biggest problem with baseball is the strikeout. And so they're going to try to get rid of strikeouts.
Nice.
This is not a joke.
No, it's not.
No, this is like from listening to Jeff Bouton and these guys.
Oh, boy.
The real problem right now with baseball is the strikeout. It's boring.
Wow.
It ends in inaction.
Wow.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I've heard of such things.
Wow. The strikeout is boring.
We need more balls in play.
I never thought that.
Well, this is what they're thinking up. This is what they're cooking up in the labs at MLB. Good job, guys. You guys have had so many great ideas so far. So keep up the great work. Ratings are down.
So let's say this. They'll throw it back to Little League. And if you strike out, instead of being an out, they'll just bring out a tee. And then you hit it off the tee. And then the outcome
That would be entertaining. That would be entertaining.
This is exactly the same joke my dad made when I told him this at lunch today.
I love this. God, that's good.
Oh, my goodness.
That's so good that you both said that.
No, you're not out. It's okay, Billy. Here, just chill for a sec.
Brilliant.
We're going to set this up, and then you can run to first.
They should let the Bat Boy come out on red carpet and place the tee on the plate.
Yeah.
And play this dramatic music.
Play that
as the Bat Boy walks out.
Play the techno loop.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, shit.
It's literally T-ball. But that would be entertaining. Absolutely.
Tee it up, Johnny.
Dude.
It's time to hit a home run. The people are watching.
That's a great slogan. That'll be the best slogan, A2, because that'll be the commercial. It'll be like, strike out, and everyone's going to boo. And then it'll just be like words flying by, like, tee it up. MLB.
Nobody wants to see a strikeout. It's boring, you guys. We got to get rid of we got to mitigate strikeouts.
Dude.
And once we have Hawkeye installed, once we have the robot umpires, we can actually expand the strike zone when there's 2 strikes. So we're going to figure this out. We got technology on the job, you guys. It's all going to be on the Jumbotron.
Well, do me a favor and please pass a thank you to Bouton. I did not realize that when Romo struck out Cabrera to seal the World Series on a slider, that I was bored.
You were snoozing.
But now looking back on it, now I see. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
You were bored.
Yeah.
I heard his name recently and it was Passon.
My apologies then.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one's right. I can't look at it and not see Passon.
Jeff Passon. It's like croissant.
Croissant.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring him up too much because I don't like listening.
He's an insider. He has real inside information.
Exactly.
So we should listen to him, even if we don't like him and we don't know how to pronounce his last name.
No, he's fine.
Sure. Well, sometimes we have to turn him off, but it sounds like you listened. So what else was he saying? Now I'm curious.
Let me tell you this. I also have insiders.
Got peeps.
That I have information from.
Yep.
So I have insider information from people who work at Major League Baseball. Okay. I can't divulge.
No, the show's anonymous.
We're all anonymous. Okay.
We're all anonymous here.
So take this with a grain of salt. I can't independently verify anything what I'm going to say to you.
Okay.
I can't tell you exactly what these people do, and I have to only generally characterize what they have said to me as to anonymize them, because they do work in a specific department and have specific knowledge about a specific thing that they told me specifically. So I have to make this very vague.
Okay.
When expansion happens, there will be the leagues will go away and we will have 4 regional divisions: North, East, West, South.
Woof.
South.
This is going to happen probably in a few years. Yeah.
Right there, they're already blowing it. If they're going to do it, just go 1 through how many teams we're going to have? 40. And the top 20 make the playoffs.
64.
We'll drop it to 80 games a year. Make sure no one gets hurt. We'll do it like week-long home run derby and then start the 3-month playoff.
Sounds dope.
Yeah, it's like they refuse to think it all the way through. It's just,
no.
But Rocky Road's my favorite flavor. If I wake up at 7:40, I'm going to pour a fucking big bowl of Rocky Road. Well, hold on a sec. Like it's not necessarily good for your teeth, not necessarily good for your stomach. It's like, no. We don't got to get into all that bullshit. I want Rocky Road. Yeah. I want it now. I just woke up.
My mind's made up.
Give it to me. I'm an owner. Yeah. I own Rocky Road. I can do that.
Shit's on tap.
I own the bowl. I own the spoon. I own the ice cream. I can do it now. I'm rich. What?
Where's my Rocky Road at? I was thinking about this too, because in minor leagues, or at least it used to, didn't they used to have a first half winner, second half winner kind of thing? So you could.
It rings a bell in sports. I don't know about minor leagues, but it definitely is a thing in sports.
Yeah. So, you win the first half and then you just cruise control and half the teams on the DL eating Rocky Road and then
IL.
Get hot. IL. Apologies.
Yeah. Come on, man. Get with the times, buddy.
Eating Rocky Road. Oh. So Kruk is just as spot on. It's more of a circus.
Is he working for the Phillies or
He's
what?
fine. He's not going to lose his job over that. Come on, man.
He was risking it.
Look, whatever gets ratings, they don't care. If that gets ratings, if people get angry and they start watching, and trust me, anger's a big motivator, then yeah.
It surprises me a little bit more that we get into this. I'm not surprised and surprised all at the same time, but it's kind of like I want to scream, and I feel like I've been screaming it for a while, but it's like I'm on the shore pointing at the ship sinking. It's like, you guys know the ship's sinking, right? And it's like, people might be looking, they might not, they don't care. They tell me it's not, and it's like, no, dude, those windows just went underwater. They were above water a minute ago. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
You're on fire.
Everything you predicted in season 1 is happening now. Everything you said about people losing interest because of this, and everything you said about them having short-term interest, it's all played out exactly like you said it would.
It turns my stomach. That was supposed to be the warning.
At least on the sinking ship, there's a bunch of Rocky Road, dude. That should make you feel good. They're like, you're in water. It's like, yeah, let me finish this real quick, and then I'll get...
Yeah, marshmallows are buoyant.
Okay, so let me tell you about this guy. There's 2 parts to this. Thomas Boswell is a guy that I've been reading, and he's 75 or somewhere close to that. And he wrote this great article in the mid-'80s. It was either early to mid-'80s. And he took like a fairly, if I remember this right, a fairly prominent Englishman journalist, and it might even have been a sports journalist, to his first baseball game. And this guy he says, and he's a really good writer. So he writes it in a way where it's like connecting the bat to the ball didn't particularly impress this guy. It's like, yeah, you know, how hard can it be? Running the bases was like, well, yeah, they're pro athletes. They should be fast. But this Englishman was just absolutely baffled by the defense. And he was just so ecstatic about what he was watching. And, you know, as you're reading the quotes, you can kind of put a British accent on it, but it's like, astounding. How does he know where the ball's to land? And it's like, and he throws with pinpoint accuracy with a twirl. And, you know, things like that. And all the things that we totally all take for granted. The defense. Take it for granted. Yeah. It's so taken for granted. And now it's like, no one even talks about defense. Like it's basically a useless part of the game. We talk about it all the time. And yet it has the capacity to blow minds, and we wouldn't want to forget how spectacular it can be. And that article made me so happy reading it. But then check this out. I loved this guy's book. I loved it. So I want to talk to this guy, right? He's 75. He's been a lifelong baseball fan. So I start looking him up. And he used to write for the Washington Post, and then he retired like a year ago. But then he had another Washington Post article. So I clicked on it to read it, and it said, this is why the pitch clock's good for baseball. And I was like, oh, fuck me. He's on their side. So I'm scouring to read it. Take the money. And it does like 3 lines, and then it kind of fades. And it's just taking the money, man. He doesn't care anymore. It might have just been a headline grabber. But did he actually think there weren't going to be repercussions, that this was going to save it and then no more rules would be implemented? Like, really? People actually think that? I mean, A9 and A10 even thought that. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Well, ratings are down because he's not even watching. Something I read recently where it said the time of the game is back to 1998 levels. Oh, you want to talk about 1998? Okay, if I remember right, I think the Giants had a play-in game with the Cubs. They ended this season with the same record. And I had a golf class where I was trying to get the coach to change the time of the class so we could watch the Giants game. And he's like, he goes, wait a minute, so you're trying to make the golf team? It's like, well, yeah. And he goes, and you care about baseball more than golf? Okay, well, I mean, all I'm saying is we can. Who else has got me here? Like, anyone else wearing a Giants hat while they play golf? Yeah. Like, seems reasonable. You're not a baseball fan, coach? 2 birds with one stone. I know. Apparently not. And his dad was a college basketball coach. Oh, not a baseball guy. You got to know about sports. Giants lost, by the way. So I scrambled home after the golf match and saw the Giants lost. Fuck it all. Sorry. But that's a 1-game plan. Like, think of the drama that brings to the season. It's just like they're really trying to expunge everything that brought drama to the regular season. They're just yank it out of there. How do they think they're going to keep it must-see if they yank out all the things? I mean, oh, maybe here it is. They'll take a page from Naked and Afraid, and they'll be like, on Saturday night games, if it's above 80 degrees, a team has to play naked. That might get people to tune in. Well, you can wear a jockstrap. The away team. But maybe we're going to get to gimmicks of that range because this shit ain't working.
Well, what if it's a baseball-related roulette wheel? And instead of playing, go up to the managers, instead of like changing lineup cards, they spin this thing. And wherever the ball lands, that's the situation. It's the bottom of the 6th. No out. And so you just skip ahead. You time machine to the 6th. The game's 30 minutes long. And then you're like, great. We got to protect these guys. Yeah.
We got to protect them. Like, why should they go up there and like have a fastball thrown at them when we really just want to see them play in the 9th inning? So let's just save it for that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you're already down 5 runs. It's like, oh, bummer. It's like, all right, well.
All right. I'm not only tattered, I'm torn in half, but let me give you, the National League actually won the All-Star game for the first time in a very long time.
Okay.
And I want to point that out because these leagues are going away.
Yeah, who's the South play for?
They don't mean anything anymore.
They don't mean anything.
And you're going to get the North, East, West, and South leagues, divisions. I know that that sounds like it's not a joke. Like, this is happening, you guys. This is the news that I have for you. It's sad, and we told a lot of jokes getting here, but that's where we're going. And Hawkeye's going to get installed in all the stadiums, and it's all hooked up to the Jumbotron. And the pitcher,
Ooh.
the batter, and the catcher can...
Ooh.
They're going to be able to tap their hat 3 times and appeal any ball or strike call from the umpire. And they're going to replay it on the Jumbotron and either vindicate or humiliate the umpire. Welcome to the future.
Also, umpires are going to get a pay decrease. But it's like, oh, you don't do as much, so now you don't make as much money, and everyone's going to tatter you.
It was like, well, if they're going to be the whipping boy from here on out, like, yeah, we'll bump it an extra 20 grand.
They're just performers at this point. So if their dance is cool, maybe ratings go up, and maybe they get a little bonus.
Oh, my.
The sick pirouette. Oh, man. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know if you have a time machine. I can't quite tell. I think you have something in between.
No, they've been testing this.
Time machine and crystal ball, maybe.
Do you know what an A/B test is?
No.
In the Atlantic League, they've been A/B testing. They have the Hawkeye installed. And then on odd days, they do the thing where the Hawkeye just calls the game.
Oh, shit.
And then on even days,
I didn't know that.
They do the thing where the batter gets to tap his hat 3 times.
Okay.
And
they see which is smoother.
Yeah, that one's testing better.
Well, do they have a meter that's testing crowd noise? Because it's going to bore the pants off everyone.
I don't have that much insight, but I can tell you that they think that this one is testing better. And that's why they debuted it at the Futures game. And that's what we're going to see. Right. So they're going to install Hawkeye everywhere. It's already going to be installed. They're already doing it now.
Okay. A3, you ready for all that?
Oh, boy. Thank God for comedy and Rocky Road. Because it's the only way I can stomach this shit.
Uh-huh. And there's always A4's prediction where it's like, it goes so far, it blows up, and we go back to classic. That's actually happening a little quicker than I thought. This shit's moving fast, really fast. I don't know if that's a good thing, but that's kind of all we got left at this point, or just shut up and take it.
A4 was right. If the 11-person committee votes for it, they can do it.
Right.
Because everything's going to be installed. They'll have the system installed.
Just be ready. Yeah.
They already installed it in Seattle. You saw it in Seattle at the All-Star Weekend. You experienced it.
Yeah, it was an experience. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this where Wrigley's got the famous wall, right? The brick, the ivy. And if A4 is right, they're not going to allow a brick wall because it won't be uniform. Could baseball ever get so whack that Wrigley or Fenway would have to be changed?
What they'll do is they'll make it a hologram, but it'll be a big pillow behind it. On TV, it'll look like Ivy, but when he jumps, it'll be like, boing, trampoline bounce. I'm fine. I'm protected. I'm a star.
Okay. All right. I got another question for A3. Any pro baseball watching on the telly this year?
I would say it's significantly lower than it normally is. But, I mean, I can't help myself. I do at least a daily check and see what's going on and keep up with a couple of the guys in the league that
it's good.
We know personally, and then also make sure the Giants are in the hunt, and that's about it.
You stunned me last year when you said you didn't watch any of the World Series games. And so for this year, does it feel like a normal or good pace, or does it kind of feel rushed or weird? What would your take be?
I mean, again, I was on team. I didn't even realize that was a problem. There were some things about the game that I thought could have regulated itself, but I see it more that I think it affects pitchers more than anything. They're still getting used to that 8-second thing. And then the catcher calls timeout, and then you're just back to kind of where you started. So I don't know. Like, I'm indifferent. I don't mind the game being faster for the game if it's healthier. But if you're force feeding it because you're trying to get ratings, that's where my problem is installed. I have a bigger problem with the ads on the uniforms than the clock now. It's just kind of like a shot clock. It's like really like I'm just kind of already desensitized to it. And if there is a violation and the guy gets a ball or a strike, I still go like, wow, that's so fucking stupid. Like the irony of all you want is action and then a play ends in inactions. You can't have both. So I just don't.
The players want more seconds. So we're probably going to get them for the playoffs.
We're never going to know how it works totally until we get through the first year with this clock with playoffs, and to see if a really important moment changes because of a time violation.
Well, who's got leverage now in this negotiation, the players or the league? If ratings are down, the players. So if the players are going to be like, yo, we want more seconds, I think they're going to get one or two more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, if it helps maybe secure the 162, I think I'd have more buy-in. And then in the playoffs, they just played baseball. I mean, last year there was that epic 17-inning battle, and that is going to go away now. Maybe. Who knows?
Right, but if ratings are down in the playoffs, they still got to, now they want to start Seinfeld. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
There's even more pressure to keep the pitch clock on it.
Oh, I agree.
If ratings are down.
Yeah.
There's even more pressure to keep it contained.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Contained.
I mean, it
contained.
This hurts me.
You use the word. Oh no. He used the word contained.
Tease out.
Oh, this is every baseball writer has talked about how uncontained baseball is. And that's, they're like, you're going to get that final out. The other team, I don't care how many runs you're down, they got to get 3 outs. And there's sort of that magic in, well, you never know, but now you kind of do. Contained. Yeah, dirty.
The magic of baseball. The spell's broken.
Well,
no games going past 14 anymore. The idea of coming to a park where there's unique properties now, there's only a few left. Balanced players who can throw, who can run, who can hit, who can go the other way.
Yeah, I was just thinking,
steal bases.
If you're gonna go 4 divisions, and
we're doing that,
and all you care about is TV ratings, then why don't you just have like 4 fields, and all the teams play at one location? I mean, what's stopping them from that? You know what I mean?
Damn. Woo.
All right.
Yep.
How's everyone feeling?
I gotta tell you, my goodness.
Okay, I wanted to shed a little light on extra innings because A3 sent me a book. Jim Bouton said that he initially made the Yankees for the first time because of extra innings spring training game.
Yep.
And he didn't think he was going to make the team. He was kind of right on the line. And then right towards the end of the season, there was a extra inning spring training game. And I guess all big leaguers hate it because it's a fucking practice game. And now here we are playing extra innings. But it got him to pitch a few more innings, and he did well. So it kept him from getting cut. And then he pitched a couple more games and then found himself on the big league roster.
Pitched in the World Series.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Change lives. Extra innings could change lives.
Not anymore.
Just a big red Family Feud X. Burn.
That's about all I got. What do you guys got?
I'd like to hear more about the books that you're reading.
Well, I was reading Thomas Boswell's for a while, and there was an article that was really, really interesting where he wrote it about the Ripkin family. And again, this is about 84. So Cal's in his like maybe 3rd season. And he starts throwing out possible Hall of Famer. I mean, he's already has an MVP. He won an MVP his 2nd year and got Rookie of the Year in his 1st. So he's throwing out.
Off to a good start.
If all things go well, this guy, we could be talking Hall of Famer. He's tough as nails. He says he just wants to play all the time. So he threw out all these things that really impressed me. Talking about the Ripkin family, Billy got in there. Billy was only 19 when he wrote the article. And he was predicting that Cal Ripken Sr. has been a batting coach for so long that this team might have Billy, Cal, and Cal Sr. as the coach, which did end up happening.
That's right.
And he had all this foresight on the Ripkins, and he kind of didn't quite, no one was actually saying he's going to break Eric's record, but he insinuated a lot of things, and Cal basically continued 15 more years exactly in line with what this guy predicted. So I was very impressed by that. Jim Bouton's book, Ball 4, pretty interesting. A3 read the whole thing, but basically in 1970, this guy wrote a book. And the only reason he wrote it was because I think a publisher hit him up and said, hey, this guy's pretty funny, pretty interesting. We want to know more about what it's like to be in the big leagues. And basically, baseball books had up to this point were only written when someone had a nice year. And it's like, oh, why don't you write a book about baseball? And it's like, here's how you succeed, kids. Do A, B, C, D, and E. Well, this one, they're like, it might be more interesting if we kind of hear a little bit more on the inside stuff. And so he was known for telling the truth and kind of being an odd guy. So supposedly he just told it like it was, and it fucked up the baseball establishment because there are some sexual stories in there, and all of a sudden everyone wanted to read about, wow, what are the big leaguers really doing? And the baseball establishment had a code of, you know, if you guys are going to go fuck around at night, don't go tell the press about it.
Right.
So things really changed after that. But one of the cool things he's writing about taking batting practice and hoping that he bats well this year and things like that. And you go, every pitcher used to think that. Now we got POs and how gnarly that is. So I'm really enjoying that one. And he's not this like gifted writer. He just kind of has a way of, feels like you're sitting on the seat next to him in a car where it's like, yeah, tell me about baseball. And he just, well, how much time do you have? Infinity hours. It's like, sure, I'll tell you about the beginning of spring training, March 7th. Here we go.
It was pretty cool too. He had the Yankee experience. And then this time frame is he's on the Seattle Pilots for their 1 year. Mm-hmm. And so that's a part of it too. It's kind of a diary of like this new baseball. Like they thought it was going to be new baseball in Seattle. And then it ended up being something completely different. But I agree. It's really conversational, and he's just kind of writing his thoughts down per day. And I liked it.
Yeah, I'm into it so far.
Can you remind our audience what PO means?
Pitcher only as a position.
You know, one of the front runners for an expansion team is Portland.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I figured Portland, Vegas, Nashville.
Portland, Nashville, Oakland, that's already gone. How many shows do we need to do about that? I'm sorry, you guys.
Yeah, later.
Does this mean we get to finally get rid of the Diamondbacks?
I mean, they just have to build bigger and bigger air conditioners. I think they're fine. Do you know it was 122 in Phoenix today? I don't know how they play. I don't know how you play baseball. I don't even know. Like, if you're a kid and you're like, hey, let's go outside. It's like, no, let's not go outside.
Hell no.
Let's play Xbox. Like, are you serious? I got a PlayStation. Like, why are you going outside if it's 122? That's ridiculous. Why would you play baseball?
Yeah, they said
fucking crazy. The grass is dead. There's no grass.
Possibly over 130 in Death Valley tomorrow.
Oof.
Well, no one's playing baseball in Death Valley.
Well, not yet. Get an expansion team there.
Okay, you're talking about setting records? Oh, great. This is now a show about global warming.
Not with that attitude. Get an expansion team out there, throw them in the West, and off we go.
Okay, we're going to get a team in Portland. We're going to get a team in Nashville. You guys, we're going to have realignment. North, east, west, south. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Why are you fighting this? I'm not fighting
Maybe we should get a team in Tahoe.
What? No.
Short porches.
Okay, listen to this. Mexico City. They want baseball so bad, but you can't put a team there. You know why? The median income is too low.
I know.
Okay?
I saw that, yeah.
So they can't afford the Dippin' Dots, you guys. They can't afford the fucking $22 beers. So baseball's like, yeah, we're going to like go play a game down there where everyone wants a team, where these guys are crazy. They want to go see a team. And they're just like, well, you know, it's just not fiscally.
Actually, in the book, the Boswell book, it did mention again how Wrigley doesn't need a Jumbotron. Now they have two.
At that time, they didn't have lights either, though.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, they didn't have lights in either.
Lights, yeah.
I don't even think anyone was considering that. The way he wrote it was he wasn't really considering a Jumbotron either. It was more like Chicago's a rad enough baseball town that they don't need it.
Now they have two.
Oh, yeah, two. Yeah, we're going to find out. Oh, and it was called Why Time Begins on Opening Day. Great title. Mega baseball guy.
But now time begins after the mid-season tournament. That's when I think
now the time begins when the clock starts.
You can just wait. You don't need to even watch that first part. That's for fantasy.
It was kind of like, you know, if you miss the first 4 innings of a baseball game, you're fine.
It's fine.
Make it to the tournament.
Yeah. It's cool.
Like, I don't watch until July.
Right. I mean, what do you really think about the death of the National and American Leagues? I mean, can you picture those two logos in your mind? They're iconic.
Yes.
It's over, guys.
The eagle.
Maybe one more year. It's basically over. We've predicted this. We talked about why don't they do it. We've actually kind of been proponents. It's like, well, why do we even have these leagues?
Well,
it's literally a logo at this point that means a lot to me. It really does. So
wouldn't quite get to proponent.
I mean, here it is.
Mostly in the
it's a wake
time machine game
for these logos. We're done. The eagle, the other eagle.
Okay, well, let me answer your question.
They're gone.
If baseball is going to pretend that history is important to them, you couldn't take a fatter shit on the face of each of those things. I mean,
eagle,
just a fat shit right on the eagle's head. Just Like, yeah, what do you think about that? Oh, yeah, what year were you established? Oh, 1901? Just... That's a wrap.
My goodness.
Welcome to the future.
How does he know where the ball's to land?
I can't take this right now.
What do you think about that?
Contained.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Okay, this All-Star game. Did it matter?
It did not matter.
It just brought the stars out.